Many trans and gender diverse people don't have the safety or opportunity to live as their true selves.
And on Trans Day of Visibility, we want to shine a light for all those hidden from view and to celebrate all the amazing trans and gender diverse people.
So welcome back to another episode of Speak Easy with Eli and Zara. This week, we're talking about Trans Day of Visibility, which is happening on March the 31st.
For all those who've not yet been able to come out, we acknowledge you, we know you exist, and we send you all our love and support.
International Trans Day of Visibility is an annual event dedicated to celebrating accomplishments and victories of transgender and gender non-conforming people while raising awareness of discrimination faced by transgender people worldwide.
Some of the achievements that made headlines within the last 12 months are:
Xander Keeg was awarded the National Association of Social Workers the Social Worker of the Year 2020.
Xander is a trans man promoting health for transgender people living with mental illness, as well as supporting the gender diversity in the US military.
Australia Football League, along with 7 other major sport associations in Australia, adopted gender diverse inclusion policies to include trans people in competitions.
That's amazing. No, it's not amazing, it's just about time. RMIT University won the LGBTQ Inclusion Award for the category of trans and gender inclusion in the workplace for 2020.
And the birth certificate reform in Victoria came into effect in 2020, allowing trans and gender diverse people to change their birth certificates without gender affirming surgery.
And in the US, the first POC openly trans woman was elected to the public office in Minneapolis.
And Elliot Page came out and began transitioning publicly.
What does Transgender Day of Visibility mean to you?
When I was growing up, I didn't see representation, and so I didn't identify with somebody who was the same as me, so it made me feel very alone. Trans Day of Visibility means being visible so that other people in the community who aren't out yet have the opportunity to see other people like them and build confidence to be able to speak out about their own gender identities, but also to show the community that we exist.
When I was a young person, I would have loved Transgender Day of Visibility to be something that I knew about or that existed, because I had no idea trans men existed. I knew how I felt. I didn't know anyone else felt the same as me. I had nobody to talk to about it, and I felt like I was alone for a really long time.
Being visible in public spaces helps the rest of the community to see that we exist, that trans isn't just a myth and something that they've seen in the media and sometimes portrayed really poorly, that we're actually friends, we're family, we're colleagues, we're in the community and contributing just like everybody else.
I also like to think a lot about everyone that isn't able to be visible and really appreciate my privilege of being able to be myself and express myself in ways that I never thought I could. And I never like to forget about people that aren't in safe positions to do so.
There are so many challenges to being visible, and we don't all have that privilege of supportive friendships, supportive family, workplaces that embrace change and allow us to transition in the workplace. So tell me a little bit about the challenges that you've experienced in being visible.
I feel like I get sexually objectified a lot for being trans, and I find that's very triggering for me. I mean, I'm sure it's not for everybody, but for me, that's how I feel. And for somebody who wants to talk to me or hit on me or shag me just because I'm trans, that's something that being visibly trans brings into my world. It's hard being so good looking.
I know, right? When you're down the street and everyone flirts with you, it's like, oh my God, we just stop.
But another thing about being visible in public is just the anxiety it can create for individuals going out in public, being a visible trans person. What kind of interactions am I going to have today with random strangers that might be inappropriate and make me feel not positive about myself?
Not knowing how people are going to receive you in new spaces and new people. There is that level of anxiety when you're being visible. But there's also a lot that is positive about being visibly trans in the community. And one of those things, I think, is just the joy that it gives you when you can be yourself out in public and people do see you and they smile and
Yeah.
you're getting positive reactions
Yeah.
from people.
And you feel recognized as yourself and appreciated as who you are. And being visible for me is a lot about belonging to the community. If I wasn't visibly out and telling people that I was a trans person, I wouldn't be connecting to the rest of the trans community in the ways that I am. And it brings me so much joy to be involved in our community that I would be missing out on if I wasn't out there and saying, yes, I am a trans person.
When you find your tribe, it's so good.
It's empowering.
So what is life like being trans out in public?
My trans life experience has literally saved my life. I don't think I'd still be here if I hadn't transitioned. I am happy and confident and strong and doing more than I've ever done in my whole life as a trans person and being visible in our community.
Yeah, I don't think that I've ever been as confident in myself and had as many great, authentic friendships and relationships with people, including in the workspace, in all the spaces of my life. Everything is just so much more authentic and strong, and yeah, I'm the most confident I've ever been in my life.
And I can relate to that too with our past friendships that have carried through to now are so much stronger because we are who we are and we're able to express that, and I think people can see that and embrace it.
I probably overshare a little bit.
That's what I was thinking.
But that's who I am now.
Yeah, that's why we love you. Alright, that was good.
So what are some things that people can do to show support for their trans community on Trans Day of Visibility?
Some of the easiest things that allies can do is just wear a little allies trans bag, have a trans flag, donate to transgender organisations that help the community.
You can tell the trans people in your life that you appreciate them.
What they shouldn't do is run around the street and say, "Are you trans? I support you." Post on social media that you support trans visibility, trans rights, and the trans people in your life.
Yeah, and look for trans organisations and see what they're doing on Trans Day of Visibility and get involved, because we love the community being involved in our events.
Bake me a cake. Thank you for watching Speak Easy for LGBTI. Tune in next week for more community content, interview, and our fabulous faces. Please remember to subscribe to YouTube channel for extended episodes and like our Facebook page, like our Facebook page to show your love for the Speak Easy and LGBTI community.